Today we're taking a look at a portable instrument cluster display from Teslogic. This is the version 2 and this display is so powerful, contains the best graphics that we have ever seen and some of the features that not even Tesla shows us in the screen, including a continuous blind spot monitoring. So if you have a car in your blind spot, you don't have to blink now to see that there is a car in the blind spot. It always shows that as soon as the car enters the blind spot, this display shows that there is a car in your blind spot. It also serves as a true HUD display. So you can just project your phone out to your windshield and you see all the information in the windshield, including autopilot and everything about the car. This is also super powerful. You can see battery degradation. You can see how many charges you have done to your Tesla. You can see the percentage between the high voltage charges versus low voltage charges, your efficiency. You can see all kinds of information about your Tesla, the motor power, the temperature. There is a quick control setting where you can precondition the battery, override the chill mode. You can put your wiper automatically on a service mode if you are in a cold region, and so much more. This product comes from a company called Teslogic, and we had reviewed their version 1 of the same unit a couple years ago and absolutely loved that product because of how much information we can tap from Tesla and show it in a portable instrument cluster display. And with version 2, they made some tweak on the hardware, have just a little bit more feature, but that's the greatness about Teslogic, is that even if you're an early adopter of the version 1, you're not missing out much with the version 2 because they keep pushing new upgrade, and that's a great business model. I absolutely love that. Tesla does the same thing where my 2018 Tesla Model 3 has the same feature as a 2023 Tesla Model Y because they keep adding those software upgrade and making their product better over time, and Teslogic is in that exact same business. They keep upgrading their older units so that nobody is left behind. So if you go to this page, teslogic.co, I have a link in the description below. You'll be greeted with this main page where it is the Teslogic V2. This is the unit what we are reviewing today. If you hit buy now, you can also learn more. It shows everything that you need to know about this display. It gives you all the highlights and everything. But if you wanted to check this out, if you hit buy now, it will come to this page here, and it says 219 Teslogic Transmitter Kit V2, and you can select your model. So Tesla Model 3 2021 Plus or Highland or all Model Y, then you click on this. You can also do 17 to 18 non-US spec. You can do a couple of options. This is with the additional wireless charger, which would be $40, but if you don't want to purchase the wireless charger, then you can uncheck this. This will just give you the non-wireless charger mount. It comes with the mount, it comes with the kit and everything, and then you can hit order now. It is $219 for just the kit V2. You go to checkout, you put all of your information, the shipping address, the contact, and in the discount code, if you put Shiva Tesla, this is where you can save 10%, looks like, of the cost, and that brings it down a little bit, under $200, so you save about $21. All right, so this is everything that you get in a box depending on what you order, the phone mount, but this is like the complete package that you get. And even though you get all of this, all you need is this 2 devices for this whole operation to work. And this is the brain of this operation, where you got the Teslogic unit, it has got a Bluetooth, it looks very similar to the V1, and you got the wiring. The wiring has slightly changed now. So for the older Tesla Model 3s, like a 2018 Tesla Model 3s with the 20-pin connector in the back, you can still order the rear wiring for the rear OBD, but for all the Model Ys and the newer cars, you can order the front cable. So if you specify that you have a newer car, they'll send you the front cable. And the benefit with this is that there's no more confusion about which car has the rear OBD or not. So some of the rear wheel drive Model Ys that were built in Austin and Shanghai don't have that rear blue port. Now this solves that problem. You just go directly to the front, and it's a pretty easy installation, unlike the Intel version, because you just connect it to this OBD port. I'll show you here in just a second. It's in a door panel. This is your 12-volt power. That powers this plug here. You simply then just plug it into this unit, and that's it. That's the entire wiring process. Now the rest of the stuff is all optional, and if you get this, so you look at it, this is the phone mount, so you put this on the steering wheel column, then you can just use this adhesive here To fix this, then you have got a MagSafe holder. So this is just a phone holder. It does not charge at the moment if you just get this one. And they even send you an optional ring. If your phone does not have MagSafe, you can put this ring, and then this ring essentially just attaches here. And this thing is really strong that it attaches to this so that your phone is strong. So this is the non-wireless charger version. You only get this. Now if you bought the wireless charger version, then they also send you the actual wireless charger. This is what it looks like. It has got a USB-C connection. You route this to either the front USB-C or all the way to the rear USB-C. And what you can do is, instead of putting this, you can then paste this wireless charger here. Then you have a wireless charger as well. If you already pasted this, you can also put this here and paste it as well, but it might get a little bulky. So for the wireless charger version, they send you this wireless charger where you can install it here, and it becomes a phone holder as well as a wireless charger at the same time. So that's the entire wiring and everything that they send. They send you a couple of accessories. You see there is a bent 90-degree USB-C connection, USB-A to USB-C if you have the older car. So they send you all of that, and then of course a pry tool. But this is a really easy installation. Let's go ahead and get started. Now for all Model Ys and your Model 3s, you're gonna wanna go to the front connection there, and it's a pretty easy, straightforward process. What we have to do is remove that panel, remove this entire panel. It's super easy. And then you can also remove this weather stripping temporarily to make your life a lot easier. And to remove this, you just have to pull the weather stripping out up to that point so that your life becomes a little bit easier installing this. Then you're gonna wanna take your pry tool that came with the kit, and you just pry this top piece out, this side piece, and that pops out. Now if you look at it, there is this fastener here. You remove that. That actually allows you to remove this entire panel because there are just some pins in this panel. And if you look at this, it might be a little stubborn, and then that just pops out. Everything is still good, connected. Now we have exposed to this wiring here. Next step is to remove this fastener there. You can just keep this stuck here. Then we are going to look underneath there, and this is your OBD connector, and then this is the 12-volt power supply, and that is what we have here. This is the OBD connector that plugs in there, and then the 12-volt power supply. One thing I do not like about this is they did not give us the male and female. So once you plug this in, that's the only accessory you can have there. So if you have other accessories like all the front screens, so that we have reviewed from other companies, actually give you a male and female, so that if you need to add another accessory there, you can easily do that. But this one, they only send a male one. So hopefully they send a splitter in the future, but right now you can just plug this in. Let me show you how to do that next. And of course, if you have a right-hand drive version car, then your plug is gonna be on the other side, but it should be on the exact same location. Now, before you do this, you wanna probably shut down the screen so that there is no issues because we are gonna be tapping into that 12-volt power supply. So what you do, go to safety here, scroll down, power off the screen. Now we're gonna come over here and get this installed. Now let's start with the OBD connector, which is this. You just slide into this location here. You match up the lines like this, push it, and it clicks into its place. The OBD connector is done. Now we just have this 12-volt connector. For that, since the car is powered off, I mean, you could do this without powering off the car, but it's recommended you do this. You look at it here, you pinch this middle part, and while holding it down, you pull the connector out, and super easily that comes out. Then you take the male end of the new harness, and you simply slide this into the female end, and it goes in really nicely. Now we are just left with the male end of the Tesla connector, and then the female end of the new plug here. And all we have to do again is line this up. So we're lining it up here, and then we're just pushing it. That's it. So the entire connection is done. You have got the 12-volt here, the Tesla connector coming in, the male port connected to the female port of the new connector, the male port of the new connector connected to the female port of the Tesla. All of that is done. Then the OBD unit is plugged in as well. Now the only thing left to do on this is you got this one plug and then you got this Bluetooth module here. And so if you look at it, you have got this notch with the end, and all you have to do is push this in, aligning the notch of the Bluetooth module. Now this is connected and powered. You see there is power there, so we should be good. Now we just have to put everything back in reverse and hide that unit inside there. Now let me show you how to do this installation for the older Tesla Model 3s. Pull this out. Now we need to take this new cable and then bypass it right here. And we have a bunch of stuff already connected to this. You can daisy chain all of this together. So what we're gonna do is remove this unit first. So this is this male to female. And then, so to remove it, just hold on, press and hold on to this middle tab. And then we're holding it down, pull this out. Now we're going to take the male connector, this one, and then connect it right here. And then take the old male connector, the previous one from the Tesla, and then connect it right here so that you can complete the connection. And you'll hear a click. Now this connection is complete. So now this system should have the power. The new system should have the power. Then take this plug that came with the new kit and then just plug it in. So right here, we're going to plug it in. Now this system is powered, the Teslogic unit. Now for the actual mount, you can use your own mount. It does not really matter, but if you want to use the Teslogic mount, this is the one that is included with the packet, and this is just a non-charging version. I would put this kind of low depending on how big your phone is. For a iPhone 13, 14, 12 Pro Max, I would just align it right here to give you more space so that the phone fits here. If you slide it down here, the phone might not fit. If you have a smaller phone, that is fine. And as I said, if you have a non-MagSafe one, they send you a ring to put it inside your case or even attach it directly to your phone's back so that when you slide this, it attaches. So that's the phone mount one. But because I have the wireless charger one, might as well install that one. And to do that, you have to first pass the USB-C cable through this hole in the back and then bring this all the way through the soft side. This is the soft side here. That is the one that is going to be the wireless charger. And again, I'm going to be installing this right here, right at the edge, so that I get the maximum charging space and it actually attaches to the MagSafe. And all I have to do is remove this adhesive backing here and then align this so that, as I said, it would be in the very bottom edge of it, and press this in to secure it into its place. So that's how the wireless charging piece is going to work. Now this is secure. We can go ahead and install this on the steering wheel panel, and this has the wireless charging now after we connect the cable. As I said, you can use your own wireless charger, or if you're going to use the Teslogic one, you're going to be mounting it somewhere right here so that, as you see, it gives you that view from the driver's side, and you're going to be mounting your phone right there. So all you have to do is remove this adhesive backing and stick this. So here is what mine looks like. This is strong now, and this has wireless charging. So the wire, it all depends on your OCD level, but if you just pass this through here, from the front, you won't be able to see it. From the back, of course, you'll be able to see it. That wire then goes around, tuck it however you want it. You can even remove the dash and then route it. Go through there. You can either connect it to the front or take this all the way to the rear console where you have the USB-C. So this installation is complete. Let's play with the app now. For today's demo, we're going to be using this Android Motorola phone, and since it is not MagSafe, this is not going to go attach over here. So even though we can't use the wireless charging feature for this one, we can put this ring so we can mount it easily. Let me show you how to do that. You just have to peel the backing off of this, attach it to the back of that phone, and we'll be able to stick it there. Now, if you have a cover on, you can of course just put this between the cover. I decided to just attach it to the back here, and this is what it looks like. This is our demo Android phone, so I don't mind just permanently putting that in there. And how this works now is we would just, if you look at it from the back, there is that magnet. We'll align it, and it just slides into its place, and this is strong. This is not coming off, so there you have it. This is good to go here. Really strong. Now we can start using the app. So the app is called Teslogic Dash, and you can download this from the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. And when you first go there, it will transmitter found, connecting, and that's it. Just make sure that your Bluetooth is turned on, so the Bluetooth is activated on your phone, but you don't have to do any settings, anything. This just literally connects, and as you saw, I fired up, and this is ready to go. So it found it, it connected it, I didn't have to do anything, which is impressive. So before I talk about the menus and everything, first thing we want to do is update this thing so that it has the latest software upgrade. Just slide it until you reach this navigation menu here, tap on Teslogic, and it says upgrade the transmitter firmware to the last stable V5 version. We have V7, so we have some work to do. And to upgrade it, just press here, and it says upgrade, and it says software upgrade. It says upgrading the Teslogic ECU. Do not drive until, do not close the application. So we're just going to wait here until this upgrade is completed. So it is a new day, and I just got inside the car. I literally haven't connected Bluetooth or anything with this phone, and let us see how it does it. So we're just going to fire up the Teslogic Dash, and it says transmitter found, and it just take a second, and we have it. We have all of that there, and it's a US base, so it realized that we're in the US, and it got the speed limit, and here you go. Like that fires up so quickly. You don't have to do anything to connect this. Just fire up the app, and it is done. Now let's go through all the settings and everything that this device has to offer. The first biggest change that they made from version 1 over version 2 is the steering wheel control. Now, you don't even have to reach over here to control this screen. You can go here, and if you press towards the left, you see you can go through different menu options here and change various settings. We'll talk about shortcut and everything, but that is one of the big changes that they made is you can use the right scroll wheel to control this. Now with that approach, just keep in mind is when we do that control, so let's say we were here, the FSD following distance or autopilot setting does change. So that's a pretty annoying feature, but at the same time, you can use the screen just using this steering wheel button. And you can also deactivate that if you don't want that, but there is that setting now, which is really handy, so you don't have to reach over here while driving. That is one of the biggest changes that they make. This is the first screen or the main menu of the screens, and you can adjust through different things here, but you can do larger font. Let me just show you what this offers. So if you look at it, it shows the time, it shows the battery percentage of the car, the speed limit, of course, the gear selection, and then the motor, power, range, current trip, and energy. Now, another big change that they made is this are toggle level now. So if you press and hold, you can actually change this to different things. So if you don't want to see the motor power and you just want to see the energy or tires and high voltage battery. So if we want to see high voltage battery, the voltage, the current, you can just apply here. And once you go back to that screen, you'll be able to see it shows the voltage, the current voltage of that high voltage battery and the current amp. You can go over here, again, press, and you are able to change all 4 quadrant on what you want. So we can go over here and say, okay, I want temperatures. And let's see, go back. I click too quickly. I want temperatures. And it shows autopilot onboard temperature, infotainment temperature. You can also change like BMS temperature, motor, rear seat temperature, charge. Oh my God, you have so much information that you can change for temperature here. And you can just go back and see that. So they allow you to fully customize this, which is really great. They have all of that option here. And of course, in the middle, you have got the gear selection. And one thing I really like about this gear selection is as soon as we step on the brake, put it in reverse, you see that the R is super large and it is blinking. So it makes it very visible. Put it in park, and in the very bottom there, you will see that when I press on the brake, you see the brake sign pop up there. So you'll see all of that info directly on the screen. If we toggle the turn signal, you'll see that as well. We toggle the high beam, you'll see that there, and we'll show you what that looks like while driving. So all of this is customizable. They made a huge improvement on this screen for allowing us to customize all of that. Over here, you can toggle different settings. I'll show you what that looks like, but that is the main screen. And you can also go into low vision mode where this gear selection becomes huge, like large. I'll show you how to toggle that. So that's the number one screen here. It's just the main screen where you can see the speed and everything. Now, if we toggle towards the left here, you will see what has been using up the battery right now. So we got the current kilowatt hour, the current kilowatt. The front and rear motor, of course, are not using anything right now. Seat heating is off. Climate control is off. Battery heating is off. It's just some light. I think light is using a little bit of energy because the light is turned on in the screen. As you can see, the light is on. That's what has been using the battery. Now, watch what happens. I just toggle the climate control. So I turn on the AC. Now we should be able to, if you look at it, we just saw that the climate control icon popped up and it started using some energy. So you can see how much energy has been used by what services directly there. Now, if we were to go back here, and I'll show you. So we go here, go to seat control. So I'm gonna turn on the seat heating, and you see that the seat heating toggled. Now I'm going to turn off the seat heating, and the seat heating went away. So it shows you how much energy has been used by all of those processes, which is really good to see, especially if you're on a long road trip and you are trying to conserve energy as much as possible. You can check what has been using up your energy there. And if we go towards the left here, you see some of this performance modes here. Again, this is the same thing. You can press here and you can see the performance. You can see the 0 to 60, quarter mile radius. This is all, everything is here. You can see the horsepower, everything for performance mode is here. Now you go towards the left. This is when you see your car's information. So this is the trim. It is the US market. It shows all the information there. It was built in Fremont. I got 23,000 miles. And if I go to car, it shows all the information about what the car's spec shows. And this is interesting. You go to battery, and that's where you see the battery degradation. I've had 110 charge cycles, 8.7% degradation. That's probably a little bit on the higher end, in my opinion, for having 23,000 miles. But the culprit is probably, if I go to energy, you see 78%. I have supercharged 78% of the time. I've got a lot of referral credit thanks to all of you viewers. Free supercharging credit, so I took an advantage of that, and when I'm on a road trip, I always use the supercharger. So that is what it is 78% supercharged, and it shows, you know, my average energy consumption, lifetime, daily, total charges. It shows all of that information, and you can even screenshot this and share it to your phone or whatever. You can just go through here. So that is this screen, and if we go towards the left again, this is the shortcut. So we can now preheat the battery, all of this. I'll actually go over that here in just a second, but let's go to this screen next. So here it shows match the brightness with Tesla's main screen. You can do that, or just match the brightness of the phone. So then that would be by default. You can set that, set brightness to 0% when leaving the car. If you are just doing the standalone installation, you can have that option. Change the screens with the right steering wheel button. I have toggle that on, which is always enabled right now. You can also just do enable without the autopilot, so it would only be working without the autopilot, or you can disable that as well. So it shows all of that. And then if you look at the bottom, it says tap to enable or disable, or long tap to drag or change the screen. So right now my screen went from dashboard to consumption to navigation shortcut at the end. Now let's say, you know what, I actually want this dashboard icon to be kind of in the front. Then I can press and hold, and then I can just drag this. Now the dashboard will be in the middle, and then the consumption will be towards the right. And then the next thing you can do is to disable some of this screen. So you don't want to see some of this screen, just tap once and it grays out, that means that screen is not going to be visible when we go back to the dashboard. That screen will hide away, and to re-enable it, you just press here and then you can re-enable it. If we go to navigation, horizontal widget in navigation, we can see the navigation. It's not too robust with the navigation. You use Google Map. I'll show you what that looks like, but routing type, the fastest, you can use the Google Map to route it directly from there, and it will show you in the map. If we go to interface, this is where you can change some of the settings. So the theme auto is actually really impressive because this is the first company, the only company that I have seen figure out how to change the displays light versus dark automatically using Tesla. So if you remember, the rest of the companies, they can do the brightness, no problem. They can sync the brightness from this to this. But this is the first company that has done where if I go to dark, it actually goes to dark there as well. Auto and light. This is the first company. Teslogic is the first company to be able to figure that out, where there's always, this goes dark at a certain time, but not necessarily using Tesla. So now you can actually toggle that. So that is what that auto looks like here. So you can toggle all of that. And low vision mode, which is the large text for the main dashboard. So if we were to toggle this, and let's say we toggle the large main text for the dashboard. Now let's go back to the dashboard here. And if you look at it, it's a giant, the gear selection here. And if you put this in park and drive, you see the speed. It's a huge speed sign there so that you know you're in reverse or you're in drive, and everything that you need to see is in very, very large font, which has been one of the features that we have requested in the past. You can, of course, press and hold here and be able to change some of this. So if we go here, if you don't want to see the range, you can change it to any of this stuff, the menu option that you have. So it shows the battery percentage, everything there. And yes, if we were to toggle the turn signal, and we will see the blind spot in this mode as well. If you can see the high beam, everything in this, which is really great that they actually figured that out and allow us to customize it so that we can see things in a larger font. So that was an interface. Now we take that out. Now, large font notifications, you can also do the large notification there. Show notification on top of the screen. This is good so that if you are in the navigation menu or any other menu, you still see the notification on the top. Head-up display mode, this is where you can use your phone as a true HUD that is reflected on the windshield. I'll do a demo of that here in just a second. Show the battery temperature near battery widget. So if we were to toggle this on, and let's say you are headed to the supercharger, we can go over here and then we'll be able to see the battery temperature is at 77% right now. And for our optimal speed at supercharger, we want that temperature to go to like 120-ish degrees Fahrenheit. And then as you are driving, you will see when the car says preconditioning battery for supercharging, you can expect to see this temperature go up, and you can actually monitor that, like how much battery has been used directly here. So it just gives you all that data directly in front of your view, allows you to see all of that information there. So that is interface, and then Teslogic, if you have an update, it will pop up right here. You can reset it. Miscellaneous, you can force the English language. So if it is in a different language, automatically you can force it. Constant blind spot monitoring, this is where all the gray cars that you see on the Tesla on the right is actually shown here with the yellow. I'll show you what that looks like in the road here. Use parking sensors for blind spot monitoring. Limit warning threshold, this is miles per hour. So that is, you can have a threshold. So if you are going above 5 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour, and you can change that to whatever threshold you want, it will have a little arc around the speedometer to show you that you're going above the speed limit there. Show phone notifications, you can also show that in the main display. Picture in picture when app is in the background, maybe used as an overlay over navigation app. So let's say you're using Google app, you can also have a little bit of this screen on the side. So even if you're not using the Teslogic app, if it is running in the background, you should be able to do a picture-in-picture overlay to see all of that information. Now this is where things get interesting. So nerds. So if I say, yes, I am a nerd, then it gives you a little warning. It could have potential consequence. You could have injuries, blah, blah. And if you agree, then if you look at it, it gives you CAN filters. You can give debug window. You can record the logs, export as a CSV file. So this is for all of you data people who want to see all the data about your car that shows the temperature, what the car was doing at certain time. It probably records logs of braking, everything that the Tesla is using, especially like, let's say, safety scores. I think this records everything. This is the CAN filter, and then you can also debug this. So really great if you are into that, but also scary. So please do not try this if you do not feel comfortable. So I am actually going to toggle. Even though I'm a nerd, I'm going to say I'm not a nerd for this purpose here. And those are all the menu items that you can change. Now, let's talk about shortcuts. Now, the first shortcut that we have is battery preconditioning. And if you tap on this little icon, information icon, it tells you everything. So this feature includes battery preconditioning for supercharging, which is, it automatically activates. But let's say in my situation, I have a supercharger that is about 5 minutes away from my house. So if I start navigating, then it's too late. And Tesla does not allow me to manually precondition my battery. So if I have this, then using the shortcut, I can start the battery preconditioning process early on without needing to navigate to the supercharger and start driving, so that it allows me to do that. And if you're especially going on a non-Tesla supercharger like a DC fast charger, this becomes very, very useful. So you can toggle that as a shortcut option here. Chill kickdown. What this means is that this is basically, let's say you are using a chill mode, and if you want to go really fast, like going the sport mode, but not all the time, just on occasions, then let's say you press on that accelerator, and if it is 80% floored, which is, almost to the full floor, then the car is actually going to override your chill acceleration selection to sport mode. And those of you who have the acceleration boost, you're going to see that and you're going to feel it. And that is what this chill kickdown does, is essentially you press on the accelerator, and if it is 80% pressed, then it'll go from chill to sport automatically. After 30 seconds of throttle being less than 80%, then it will automatically return to the chill mode, so you don't have to toggle this on and off every single time. So if you want to use chill mode for most of the time, but you also want to floor it every now and then for, like, let's say a red light, and you need to get somewhere, then you are able to do that without fumbling through the menu options and changing back and forth between the menu options here. Snow and ice mode, this essentially allows the even torque between all the axles there, slip start mode, and then winter wiper parking, which is really interesting that it actually allows you. So if you are in a winter time frame and if your windshield are all the way down, then when you're trying to defrost it, it may take you a little bit longer. And if you want to put this on the service menu, which is what Tesla also has that by native, where you can also press on the menu icon and then put the wipers in a service mode there, so that it is kind of halfway, like at an angle the wipers are. You are able to do that. So park wipers to service position when cold, and you can set the temperature of what quantifies as being cold and be able to use that. So those are all the options that you have. Look, we toggle the shortcut of battery preconditioning, and you see that the battery is beginning to precondition, and you see that sign there. It is at 77 degrees right now, and if we were to go to the screen, it is showing that I'm actually using 4.9 kilowatt to precondition the battery. So it shows the battery preconditioning and the energy that is being used by that. Now, the shortcuts are great, but if you have to fumble through every single time on this phone to get it, then there is no point for those shortcuts. They're supposed to be shortcut, easy. So how this works is there is a way to use the scroll wheel button to quickly get this up and running. You just have to hit this edit quick access, and then whatever you want on the quick access, let's say battery preheat, you want to do a chill kick down, and all you have to do is hit apply. Now, what happens is, let's say if we go back to this main screen, so we're not in that screen where we have those settings, and let's say when we're driving, and let me zoom out a little bit to show you this. Now what you can do is you can just double tap this steering wheel button, and you look at it, you have access to those shortcuts, and you can use the steering wheel button to go between different things. So if we scroll down, this is what you see, and all you have to do is toggle this towards the right. So sorry about this, zooming in and out. So if I wanted to take the chill kick down, I just have to toggle this, and you have the chill kick down toggled. Same with the battery preconditioning. I can just do that and then start preconditioning the battery. And to get rid of this screen, I just have to press once and that goes away. So that is the shortcut icon and how to access it. You can also access this shortcut icon directly by tapping here as well, and then you'll see the shortcut menu there as well. Now this is what it looks like driving on the day mode here. You can see all the information, matches the Tesla, and actually matches the color as well of the screen, because we see like a blue unmatched color. This one is doing a decent job at showing the true color. And yeah, so everything is there. Turn signal, you'll see the turn signal here from the driver's perspective. Let's turn, and you have got all of that. Now, during the day mode, let's toggle the autopilot. And this is what the autopilot looks like. And it shows the nag as well. Now here is the energy versus deceleration chart there in the bottom. Super nice, shows in big. Now that is the continuous blind spot monitoring. It is showing that car that was in my blind spot. So there is a car approaching in my blind spot, and it shows the yellow there. So I'm gonna be approaching that truck who is gonna be in my blind spot, and you will be able to see that there is that truck in my blind spot in the screen. So if you look at it, the yellow sign popped up letting me know there is that truck in the blind spot, and if I pass it, then it shows that it is gone, it is cleared. Now there's another truck that is coming up here in the blind spot, and watch what happens when I try to blink. So now it is going to catch that it is going to be in my blind spot, so yellow. Now if I try to blink, it shows red, like don't go. But once it crosses the blind spot, it is green again. So this system is really intelligent and it works really well. It doesn't require us to do the blinking to know that there is a car in the blind spot. Here is another example right there. It's actually a really smart system. As soon as there is that gray car that pops up on the screen in the blind spot, that yellow sign comes up. So there is a truck that is about to hit my blind spot, and Tesla hasn't even shown that truck yet, but this system actually recognized it, that it was in my blind spot, and then now it is no longer. Now there is another car in my blind spot. So without even using the blinker, this is amazing that it shows the continuous blind spot. This is like the typical blind spot monitoring system that we are used to seeing, which is really good. And while driving, this is what you see, all the screen, the usage by each motor, everything is visible directly on that. Let's say if I want to turn off the climate control, as soon as I turn this off, it's going to send some notification to Tesla, and that climate control icon, that went away because I turned off the climate control. Looks like battery heating is going on right now, so that has been toggled, but it shows all of that information directly in your face. I wonder what happens if you put your car in autopilot while this screen is active. So that screen does not change, but we can totally go back right there. So the speed limit is 35, and if I were to accelerate beyond the 10, it shows the red arc in the screen, letting me know I'm over speed. Now let me show you the driving view of this low vision mode. So that is the low vision mode, and if we were to go back to the main screen, you see that the font is super large. And let's drive, and I'll show you what that looks like. So like in comparing with Tesla, this is this is super large, right? Like you can see everything directly in front of you here. Now let's see what autopilot looks like on this low vision mode. Super large font. And here is your nav. So this is the navigation screen, and if you look at it on the top, you still see your speed, your autopilot, everything shown, and it shows where you are within that navigation area, so you can see where you're going. And if you want to do turn-by-turn navigation, then you gotta open the Google Map icon by going over here, and it just opens the Google Map. But with this one, you can at least see where you're at with the navigation. And if we were to put the car in autopilot, it shows that the car is in autopilot there, the navigation menu, and you can see again where you are at. It doesn't give you the directions, but it shows and it gives you the nav. So since it's nighttime, I just wanted to show you clearly what the night mode looks like. And let's start with the autopilot. You know that the autopilot is available. I've got the FSD beta on my phone, so let's start with that testing. So autopilot activated, and you see that the blue light, and it gives you the nav. Okay, now let's talk about this HUD display. So if we were to go back to the settings here, and if we were to go to interface, there is the head-up display mode. Now if we toggle that, the head-up display mode, we can go back to this, and it's an upside down screen, right? And that's for a reason, because if the screen is upside down, it is going to project the right away onto the windshield, right? So because the screen is upside down, now you are seeing the projection up there in the windshield, and that is projecting up into the windshield. You can place this wherever you want. You may have to be a little bit creative with the placement of this so it does not slide your phone, but as you see, it actually projects up there. You can even get it closer there if you want to the screen, or even further out, and then it will project it out here. Just one thing that I noticed is that it does have a little bit of that slight double. So if you look at this, resolution is going to be a little bit blurry, as if you're wearing like a bifocals and the focus is not right. And I think that's the hardest part about this whole thing. But let's say if we were to project it out to the window here, it would be better, because the window is tinted. So if we had some kind of a black piece, perhaps that would make this more clear and easier to read. But regardless, I wanted to show you what this looks like while we are on the road. So if we toggle the reverse here, we can go into reverse, and you can see that directly reflected into the windshield, right? So now we're going to pull out of the parking spot. So this is what it looks like while driving. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, but at the same time, it gives you a great visibility. If we are looking at it from the driver's perspective here, now everything is projected into that windshield there, and I can see the speed and everything while driving at nighttime, which is really easy to see. And even if I was to toggle the autopilot, it shows that I have the autopilot toggled into the projection there, and it shows everything there. So that's really good. Mainly the speed, turn signal, everything is toggled, and you can see that. Definitely not perfect again. There is a little bit of a double vision there, like a blurry. It's not crisp, clear as much as I would have liked, but hey, that's actually really good. I don't mind a little bit of that blurriness for the sake of getting that information as a HUD in the front. Yeah, looks really nice. And you are able to adjust this where you want this to be positioned, even here. And from the driver's perspective, this looks really great. I could see it. I could see the speed. Again, not clear. And they actually sell a glass piece that you can install, which wouldn't have all of that blurriness, but it's actually decent for nighttime, definitely. makes it visible. During the day is going to be a different story. So this is what night looks like. Let me show you what day looks like. During the daytime, this is not going to be very helpful to you, because if we put this here, I mean, we could kind of see it being reflected there if you look at it from far away, but it's barely there, right? Like the reflection is barely going to be visible right there. So if you see, there is the parked, and put it in reverse, you could see the reflection, but during the day, it is going to be very hard to see. If you look at it here in the shadow, we got a bunch of tree shadows. You can see the HUD display. You can see the blinking. You can see the speed. But as soon as we get to the bright sun, that goes away. And then when we get to the shadow again, you'll be able to see it come through. All right, here's my verdict. I absolutely love this product. There is so much into this little device, and the installation was super easy. There is some features requests we're gonna talk about here in just a second, but on to my likes. I like the installation, super easy installation. Number two, this company has figured out things that we have never seen anybody else in the aftermarket world figure out. First of all, the continuous blind spot monitoring. Not even Tesla shows that. You have to actually toggle that turn signal indicator, and then if there is a car in the blind spot, Tesla blinks red. That has been replicated in the past by other companies where that blinks red. But I don't want to have to toggle the turn signal to see the blind spot indication. Every other car in the market feels like it has that, where it's a continuous blind spot monitoring. You see some on the side mirror, you see some inside. Even the Model 3 Highland has that, where it's a continuous blind spot monitoring. And we have been asking Tesla to show that information in the main screen, and even Tesla does not do that. Well, this company figured it out, and that's going to be super helpful for many, many people, and hopefully that other companies in this space also figure it out in the future. But that is amazing that this is leaps and bounds ahead of anything we have seen in the past. Another thing that we have never seen before is a HUD projection from a phone. So you just put your phone in the dash, and I showed you earlier what that looks like. By no means that it is perfect, because you still see a little bit of a blurry double vision in there, but it does the job, and you can see the speed, you can see all the critical information displayed on the windshield. Absolutely amazing at nighttime, and I hope they keep making it better. They do sell a add-on kit where you can put a screen in front where it can project that HUD information there as well. But just even with the windshield, it is really amazing. You just increase the brightness on your phone, put that on the dash, and then it projects out, which is the first, right? We have never seen it. So I'm really excited. I hope that they continue to make that better. They also now incorporated the steering wheel control, which was missing on the version 1, where you have to actually slide it using your finger. Now that is available on version 2, which is really great, that you don't have to go over there and touch the screen while driving. You're able to just use the scroll wheel to control various settings. And of course, the massive amount of information that you can see directly from this little screen. Motor power, the battery, the brakes, the tire pressure. You can see everything in this screen, like more than everything that I was thinking that you would be able to see from a little OBD connector in the front. Like, it's amazing. It is insanely good. I can't say good things enough about this product for showing us all the data, all the stats about the car. Really impressive. Finally, the amazing graphic quality. We have never seen this good of a graphic quality on any other products in the past that we have reviewed. It aligns with Tesla. It uses the Tesla's fonts. It shows the autopilot. It shows the autopilot nag. It's just super high quality product, and it shows all of that information is really nice graphics. And of course, the OTA upgrade, it comes with the device. Teslogic keep pushing OTA upgrade to make your product better over time. And it's not just that it's an OTA gimmick like some of the other products. It actually works. You press that OTA and it updates your device. Now on to some of the feature requests for Teslogic. I know they probably don't want to hear this, but guys, come up with your own instrument cluster display that is permanent in the dash. You would kill it, right? That would be the best instrument cluster display ever, because it already is on a portable side, but I would like to see something permanent just on the dash. You just have to hook up and have all of that graphics that you already have. Put that UI and all the features, then that would be a killer display. I think that would be the ultimate display for me. Number two, if you could integrate front bumper camera, like some of the other displays that we have seen, wirelessly would be better. Solar powered camera would be awesome. I don't know if that is feasible or not. Even if we have to go to the 12-volt battery to get the power, if it was more of a wireless so we don't have to pass it through the firewall, that would be amazing. But even if we have to pass it through the firewall, a front camera support would be really great to see on this display. What do you all think about this device? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I have asked Teslogic to monitor in the comment section so that they can continuously make their product better. In the past, they have used the comments on our videos to improve on the product and add new features. So it is extremely important you leave those comments in the comment section below so that I can monitor it, Teslogic can monitor it, and they can continually make this product better. Thank you very much for your continued support to the channel. If you haven't already done so, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back again soon for another Tesla accessory review.